Right, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was in London yesterday and gave a powerful speech in Parliament asking for more support for his country and for Britain to supply more powerful English planes. He later had tea with the King as he continued to pile on the pressure for more help. But Russia has warned of consequences for Britain and the rest of the world if we do supply the fighter jets. Isn't that right, Jane?
Yeah, and obviously this has caused great consternation amongst the general public, as of course it would. So you've got the one side of the argument where everybody is sort of saying, well, look, we were there at the outset, helping Ukraine. We've got to help them out. We've got to, stick with it. He's come all this way to ask for our help. How can we refuse? But then you've also got a lot of people who are quite rightly, when Putin makes these statements saying about repercussions or whatever, going, hang on a minute. Let's all just mind our own business here. We've got our own issues in Britain. Let's not spend money on this. Let's not raise our head above the parapet. But to the latter argument, I would say we are a relatively small military force in the world now. I think we've got like 70,000 troops. And the world order internationally is only ever based on people following the rules, not stepping outside the boundaries, And here we have a country that's not that far away from us in international terms, that has been invaded illegally. And if we stand back and let that happen without all getting together and saying, we're gonna help stop this, who's to say that that doesn't happen to us in the future? This is like a collective thing where everybody has to say to Putin, you cannot behave like this. He needs to be put back inside his box.
Do you think there's an element of people sort of thinking that it simply will not and cannot happen to us?
It's a very British way of thinking, that, isn't it? It can't possibly happen to us, but it can. Yeah. I mean, I don't often like to accept when I'm wrong, but I will admit when I am. And I will admit, there was a bit of cynicism towards Zelensky with me. And there was just some spidey sense, I was a bit concerned about why is a man and his wife talking to, Piers Morgan or whoever and doing a Vogue photo shoot in the middle of a war. It's unprecedented. It's never happened before, But I listened to other people. I listened to you. We were talking earlier. And I do understand that the reason that these things are happening is because he is keeping this war at the forefront. Because there are other things.
Otherwise, we'd all be getting on with our lives.
I do understand that. The main thing for me where I can understand, we are going through a crisis at the moment where people can't heat their homes and feed their children. And they see all this money being spent on this war. And the question they ask is, there is £6 billion was spent during COVID on unused PPE because of the fast-track VIP lane that was given. And nobody is accountable for that. No one's talking about that. So you can understand Doris and John, who can't feed their family, wondering, why are we not talking about that deficit? Where is all that money gone? And now we're giving the same amount to another country. I, of course, agree that we have to and we need to, but I do understand, like Jane does, that we're not a bottomless pit.
Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? It's a really difficult one. We've seen the videos, we've seen, the devastation that it's caused in Ukraine, but you also see that Putin is someone, seems like when he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. I think a lot of people didn't believe it. But it's just about knowing the level from our country, what we can, how far we can help, and knowing the risks that it poses to us. And then other countries, there's other countries that are in need. You think of places like Congo that's got war going on, and what if they ask for help? Have they received
it? We never hear anything.
We never hear about those
But putting it brutally, that's not a threat to us.
I know, but it's still people.
So
the same way we're saying people in Ukraine
that need help
are human. They're still human beings.
Yeah.
They still need help. So
but this isn't just about helping the Ukrainians. This is
about knowing our level.
Putin so that it doesn't come back on us.
No, definitely. But I think, look, there's many countries that has helped the UK, and when they need the help, they're not getting help either. I think it's about us knowing our levels, how much we can help. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but really understanding the impact so that we know what step we're taking next. We don't want to see anybody. We know Ukraine people losing lives, but there's also other countries as well. So it's just knowing our levels and what we can do so we're all safe.